and today we will be discussing the effects and divisions of the Berlin Wall between the east side and west side of Germany. The Berlin Wall is a physical symbol of division of political and military ideologies between West and East Germany. To know why the Berlin Wall was created, we have to go back to the end of World War II. World War II is when America, Britain, and France joined together with the Soviet Union to take down Nazi Germany against its Axis powers. After World War II, Germany was split into 4 Allied occupation zones. The Soviet Union gained control over East Germany, the US controlled the south, Great Britain controlled the north, and France controlled the southwest. After the defeat of Nazi Germany, the different parties divided Germany, which was only supposed to be temporary. The city of Berlin was technically in the east, but it was an agreement after the war that the 4 groups would have a say on it, so they decided to split into 4 parts. All the groups had different visions for post-war Europe, and while the three allies combined to create West Germany, Berlin needed to still have a roadway from east to west, water access, and an air corridor. West Germany had higher salaries, more consumer goods, and more personal freedom, while the east side offered free healthcare and education. However, the east side wanted to surround themselves with the communist nations and restrict Western trade movement, which thus created the Iron Curtain. The Iron Curtain was a political, military, ideological barrier that the Soviet Union created after the World War II to seal themselves off from West Germany and any nation that was non-communist. In 1949, West Germany became the Federal Republic of Germany, and East Germany became the Democratic Republic. East Germans were banned from going to the West, but hey, it was so simple. You could have just walked, taken a bus, or even used the subway to get across to the West side. Before the wall was up, which was 1961, 3.5 million, which is 20% of East Germany's population, had left for the west side because of its higher sales that were offered. These included skilled workers, professionals, and intellects. The loss of people threatened the economy on the east side, and the leadership did not like that at all. We'll see you back in a minute after your local weather for this week and traffic. Well, the weather forecast is looking nice for the rest of the week. Tomorrow's supposed to be sunny, and then Thursday is supposed to be sunny. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are looking pretty wet, so get outside while you still can, enjoy the weather. And now I'm going to send it back to you, Died. Welcome back to the News Hour, and I'm your host, Dave Burns. And let's talk about the night of August 12th, 1961. In the middle of the night, East German soldiers and police and even voluntary construction workers were laying down barbed wire fences and cinder blocks that lasted over 100 miles long. This wall ripped apart families, and because it was put up at the middle of the night, no one knew it was happening. The purpose was to stop Western fascists from entering this socialist state of East Germany. This wall symbolized the Cold War's division between the East and the West. West Germany and East Germany from all of Europe. The wall was a system of barriers with 2 walls. The outer wall was 11.5 to 13 feet tall, and the inner wall was 6.5 to 10 feet tall. The original wall was built of barbed wire fences and cinder blocks. Later, they replaced the wall with concrete walls topped with barbed wire, guarded with watchtowers, guns, and mines. By the 1980s, they created a system of walls, electric fences, and fortification that extended 45 kilometers through Berlin and extended 120 kilometers around West Berlin, separating it from the rest of East Germany. There were different layers of the wall. There was the wall, then there was a patrol track, then there was tank stoppers, followed by smooth sand, which would show footprints and had mines in it. The main wall had a rolled top, which you could not rip. Across the wall, there was no man's land, and the guards would there shoot to kill for last resort. The wall was strengthened by spy strips, guard dogs, landmines, 302 watchtowers, and 20 bunkers. Approximately 5,000 East Germans escaped the wall to the west side, but also approximately 5,000 of them were captured in the attempt to escape, and about 100 to 200 of them were killed during their escape. West Germany wanted to focus on their denazification, supporting liberal reconstruction, more personal freedom, higher pay, and access to good as well as East Germany took huge resources to pay for their war reparations, which weakened their centrally planned economy. They made strict communist policies and controlled the people and what they could do. This was the Stasi, the Soviet secret police. People on the east side were under the watchful eye of the Stasi, who monitored the people for their disloyalty. There are many stories on how people tried to escape to the east side. As for one example, a 19-year-old soldier jumped over a 3-feet-high wall of barbed wire fence. An aircraft mechanic flew a hot air balloon over the wall with his friend. That's insane. An East German soldier stole a tank and tried to smash it through the wall, but failed to smash through it. A trapeze walked over a power cable to freedom, but he fell off the wire, breaking both his arms, but luckily fell on the safe side. 2 friends ziplined across the wall. A brother used an air mattress as a raft to get across. An 18-year-old swam across, which only took him 4 hours to do. And a 27-year-old with his wife and family and friends took a speeding train through the wall. The border was finally opened on November 9th, 1989. The wall was up for 28 brutal years. It symbolized 2 ideologies, communist versus democracy. It was a physical symbol that separated repression from freedom, while the East Side thought the wall was great because it stopped citizens from the East to immigrate to the West. John F. Kennedy even said the wall was a lot better than a war. And while the wall stabilized the East Side economy by preventing the workforce from leaving, it separated families and tore it into 2. The East Side reputation was ruined, and they became a global symbol of communist repression. They took away the voices, hopes, and freedom of the citizens of the East Side. The Berlin Wall was a concrete symbol of the division between the East and the West, and it wasn't until 4 decades later, after World War II, that Germany was officially reunited as a country in October 1990. Thank you for tuning into the News Hour. I am your host, Dave Burns. Once again, thank you for listening to the Berlin Wall, as I had fun telling you guys about it. Have a safe and a peaceful night. Good night, Canada.